Hello and welcome to all students in this our YouTube channel. Now today we are in the study of thermodynamics. Now this is the new chapter which we are going to be start now. Here this chapter is based on Maharashtra State Board new syllabus. Now before going to this chapter we should know about some basic concepts of thermodynamics. Now in this our lecture we will cover up all these concepts, then we will go in detail of this chapter. Now I am here to welcome all the students to start this chapter. Okay. Now we will start this chapter with introduction. Okay. Now first of all we should know about what is meant by energy. Now here I have mentioned the energy. Okay. What is meant by energy we should know first, then we will go in detail. Energy is one of the form of, or it is a property of body by which it can able to do work, is called energy. Now all of you are familiar with energy. Whenever you are going to eat some food for energy, for to get energy, you will able to do some work after that. Okay. So that is the concept of energy, and for any machine it requires some different forms of energies for work done. Okay. So this is the concept of energy what we can define in our language. Okay. Now we will go for the next point, that is thermodynamics. That is the name of this chapter. Now thermodynamics, it deals with the study of some physical changes and heat transformations which are taking place in chemical reactions. Now I will split this name, that is thermodynamics. Thermo means, how we can define thermo? The name this thermo, what it indicates? Heat. And dynamics, this word you will get in physics. Means this word is derived from physics language. Now dynamics in the sense, what we can say, transformations. Okay. Heat transformation. So the name we can split like this. Thermo means heat and dynamics means transformation. Okay. So if we connect these two words, you will get heat transformations. Now here we are in the subject of chemistry. So as what we have to do? We have to study the heat transformation for chemical reactions. Okay. Means heat transformation or some physical changes which are occurring in a chemical reaction, that study we will do in this topic, that is thermodynamics. Okay. Now this is the branch of science which deals with the study of physical transformations and heat transformation. All these concepts we are going to study in this chapter, and this is nothing but what we can say, thermodynamics. Now we will go in detail of this chapter. With the start of this chapter we will see what is its scope first. Okay. Means in which area or which type of different scopes are comes under the thermodynamics chapter, we will see one by one. It provides the information about feasibility of chemical reaction. Means by the case study of chemical reactions in a given conditions, whether that reaction will occur or not, we can confirm with the help of this thermodynamics. This is the scope of thermodynamics first. Now again it tells us whether a reaction is possible or not under a given set of conditions. That also important information can be provided by this thermodynamics. Now again it tells us the direction of reaction in a particular direction, whether the reaction will occur or not. It provides that also important information. Now studies of energy transformations. Now I already mentioned in the introduction of this chapter, that is energy transformation which are taking place in a certain chemical reactions. It gives that information also. That is also a very important scope. Now here, along with these scopes, it has certain limitations also. Now that limitations we will study one by one. We will see, means it provides an information or it has some limitations, drawbacks. In that we will see one, it does not deals with the time factor. Means there is no any information which it provides about the time. All of you know about the chemical kinetics, that is the next after this thermodynamics, the next chapter will be chemical kinetics. In that case time factor is studied completely, but here in thermodynamics it does not deals with the time factor. This is the limitations, means at which time or at a particular instant, what about the information of that chemical reaction or how much the reactant is converted into product, it will not tells us that study. Okay, again the second limitation we are going to see, no information about the rate. As earlier I have mentioned, the time factor, it does not deals with the information about time factor, means rate is depends on the time factor. So again it does not provides about the rate of the chemical reaction. Okay, again the rate of chemical reaction we can study in the next chapter, that is chemical kinetics. Okay, again it provides the information about only initial and final states of the system and not on the path by which a system is followed. So this is also very important point according to the thermodynamics, that is in limitations. Okay, now it does not provides in between stage of initial and final states, only it provides initial state and final state, means the temperature which is before starting the reaction and after the reaction, that information it provides, but in between which process is going to be occur or how, it does not explains that information. This is the limitation. Again we will see the next point, that is it deals with only macroscopic properties. Now here all of you are familiar with macroscopic systems and microscopic systems. Macro in the sense the things which we are going to measure in larger scale, and the systems which are at atomic level, that systems comes under the microscopic systems. And here thermodynamics only deals with the macroscopic properties, not microscopic properties. Okay, again the another branch of this thermodynamics is there, it is called statistical thermodynamics. It provides the information about on the base of atomic and molecular level. Okay, we will see in the next point, that is these are the scope and limitations of what we can say the thermodynamics. Okay, now we will go to the next point, that is statistical thermodynamics. As earlier I have mentioned, statistical thermodynamics provides the information about the molecular and atomic level, that is the energy changes or physical transformations which are occurring in atomic or molecular level can be studied in this area, that is statistical thermodynamics. And this particular area connects with the macroscopic systems of thermodynamics, means it helps for the getting information from atomic and molecular level to the macroscopic system. Okay, so this is again the very beautiful area in which we can study the atomic and molecular level, that is reactions in atomic and molecular level, that is their heat transformation there. Okay, this is about what we can say statistical thermodynamics. Now we are coming across the next point, that is some basic concepts of thermodynamics. Now in this some basic concepts of thermodynamics, we have to study the components or the different factors which are present in the study of thermodynamics. We will go in detail one by one. Now look at here some points I have mentioned: system, surrounding and boundary. We will see what is meant by their meaning and how they are present, or what is how, in the sense, their examples also we will see. System. A system in a thermodynamics is nothing but a part of the universe in which we are doing some chemical reaction or study. That part is called as system, or in simple way, it is a part of the universe where we are making some observations of particular reaction, or the part of the universe where the observations are made is called system. Okay, and this system is nothing but in our chemical reactions, the chemical reaction which we have selected, or the area or the part of the universe where all the observations we are making is called as system. Okay, now what is meant by surrounding? Surrounding is nothing but, suppose this is the universe is a limitless, but for the sake of our simplicity, I have considered this as a universe. For your only understanding, I am going to draw this figure. System is nothing but, suppose here is the chemical reaction which we are going to carry out in this part. So this is nothing but what we can say system. Okay, and what is meant by surrounding? The part which is except than that of system and which is remained in a universe is called as what we can say surrounding. Okay, this is the system, and except than this system, the remaining part is the surrounding. Remaining part in the universe is called as what we can say surrounding. Okay, and the third thing is that boundary. Boundary is nothing but the part which can separate both system and surrounding is called boundary. And the square which I have made here, big square, is nothing but what we can say, it is a universe in which all the things we are going to put here is nothing but what we can say universe. Okay, so boundary is nothing but the part which can separate both the system and surrounding. Okay, in our way we can define like this. Now this is the different types of what we can say basic concepts of thermodynamics. Now again we will go in detail about the system. From here, all the observations which we are making is nothing but the system. So we are interested to go in detail about the system. Means we will see what is meant by system, and after that types of system, properties of system. We will go in detail of this chapter. Okay, one by one. Here in the next point we will see what is meant by types of systems. As in previous point we have understood what is meant by system, so we shall go in detail of this system. In that there are three types of system: open system, closed system and isolated system. With the help of a simple diagram we can understand these three concepts. Okay, first of all I will take an example in our day-to-day life. All of you know about the, or you are familiar with a cup of tea. Okay, now in that case, suppose a cup of tea we have taken in hot condition. Okay, and we have placed that cup of hot tea on a table for some time. What will happen? After some time that tea get cold. Now how it get cold, or which are the different factors which are going to affect on that tea, that we will study in these types. Okay, first of all we will see a cup of hot tea in open condition, that is nothing but open system. Okay, suppose here a cup of tea I have taken in hot condition like this. What will happen? In this case, here both heat as well as matter can be exchanged with the surrounding. Look at here. This is the what you can say matter, and the another thing heat. Now there are two factors by which that tea gets cold after some time. Heat is exchanged with the surrounding. As in a cup, the tea which is in hot condition, it tries to come at room temperature by the exchange of heat. Means some heat is lost by this hot tea with the surrounding, so as to balance or to come to the what you can say room temperature. It loses its heat. Along with, as it is in open condition, we can say that some amount of matter is also lost in the form of water, tea vapors. Okay, here both the factors heat as well as is going to be exchanged with the surrounding. So such a type of system we are calling as a open system. Okay, now here we will go for the closed system. Whenever you are going to come across a definition, how you can define? It is a type of system where both heat as well as matter can be exchanged with the surrounding. Each called open system. So this is the simplest definition. For 1 mark or 2 mark, this question may be asked in your theory exam. So you just point out this point or definition. Now we will go for the next point, that is closed system. Now in the closed system, what we are going to do? Again, a cup of tea we are taking for the study. Okay. But here some changes which I am going to do here. Only the saucer which is present, below of this cup, what I did, only I had taken this saucer to close the cup. Suppose I thought that a cup of hot tea I will take after some time. So what I will do? I will place this just that saucer on the above of this cup, so as that tea will remain in hot condition after some time also. That is after 5 minutes. So for that purpose, what I did, that saucer which is present below this cup, I have placed to close that cup. Okay, this is nothing but what I can say closed system. In this case, what happened? Heat is exchanged, but matter is conserved. Heat is exchanged with the surrounding through its surface. Means here heat is exchanged with the surrounding. If you want to try this, you just place a cup of hot tea on table in closing condition. Then after that, after 10 minutes, you just see its temperature. After some time, you will get that a cup of hot tea in cold condition. Why this is happened? Because heat is exchanged, heat is going to be exchanged, but matter gets conserved. Here the vapors which are trying to come out of this cup are get condensed. means heat is exchanged and matter is conserved. For such a system we are calling it as a closed system. And how we can define this system? The system or the type of system is defined as where heat can be exchanged but matter can be conserved. Such a type of system is called as closed system. Okay. Now we will see isolated system. All of you know about or familiar with the thermos flask. Thermos flask, how it works or how that thermos flask can be constructed. You just go on breaking. When you are going to break that thermos flask, you will notice some layers inside the thermos flask. Means in between that layers there is some isolated arrangement was there in which heat is not added or heat is not exchanged by the system. Such a conditions are made in a thermos flask. So that's why the system or the tea in hot condition which we are taken in a thermos flask, it does not get cold after some time. Its temperature will remain as it is, and as well as the heat which is present in outermost or the surrounding cannot be added into the system. In that case, we can say that the reaction or the cup of hot tea which we have taken in a thermos flask can be conserved with the surrounding temperature. Whatever the condition may be, its surrounding conditions, it will not affect on that system. Okay. Only what we have to do for isolated system, the cup of tea which we have taken in isolated system means this system can prevent whatever the condition of that matter which we have taken or system inside that isolated system can be preserved. Means there is no any exchange of heat as well as matter in the surrounding, so as both are conserved. Such a system is called as isolated system. Okay. So these are the three different types of systems which we have studied in detail with some examples. Now after that completion, we will see some properties of system. Okay. Now here there are two properties of systems, that is extensive property as well as intensive property. Okay. Extensive properties are those properties in which they are not means the properties of system which does not depends on the amount of matter is called as extensive system, and intensive system in which the properties of system which depends on the amount of matter. Okay. So here we will study some examples of there, that is extensive properties in which if we take an example of mass. Suppose someone has said to you, you just bring 1 kg of sugar, then what you will do? You will take exact 1000 gram of sugar, not 985 or 999 gram. Now how it defines, or how we can say why we have not taken 1000? Here in this case mass is an extensive property. Here it depends on the amount of matter. Means here not only 999 gram we cannot take. Why? Because the amount of matter is important here, but for intensive property amount of matter does not affect. Okay, does not affect the property of system. Like that extensive properties, there are several examples. For example, volume also. Suppose someone has said you just bring out 1 liter of milk, you cannot take there 985 ml. Why? Again here matter is important in this case. So such a properties are called as extensive properties. In extensive properties you can take different examples: mass, volume, internal energy, heat capacity, again number of moles. These are nothing but the some different, what you can say, extensive properties. Again intensive properties. Intensive properties are of different types that I already explained. Intensive property in which they does not depends on the amount of matter, but I will take some example. For example, density. If you want to calculate the density of any liquid, you suppose if you want to take the density of sea water, what you will do? You require only 10 ml in specific gravity bottle, that liquid. Okay, not the amount of matter is important there. Okay. Again, if you take another example, refractive index. For the study of refractive index, you just need some drops of that liquid, not only 10 ml, 20 ml and like that. So such a properties in which the amount of matter does not counts, or that information is not important. So for the study of refractive index, you need just only one drop of that liquid. Like that, different properties are also there: melting point, boiling point. For calculation of melting point and boiling point, you require only small amount of matter, and their amount of matter does not affect the properties. Such a properties are called as intensive properties, and there some examples are I have mentioned here: temperature, pressure, surface tension, viscosity, density, melting point and boiling point. So these are the different examples of what we can say intensive property. And if we come across the definition of these two properties, extensive properties are those properties in which their properties depends on the amount of matter, but here for extensive property, amount of matter does not count, or we can say its property does not depends on the amount of matter present in it, is called as intensive property. So these are the definitions and their examples. This question or definition may be asked in your theory exam also. According to your NEET, CET and JEE, these questions are very important. So in our today's lecture, these are the different points which we have covered, and these points are very important and basic things of this thermodynamics. And after this, we will continue with our new point in this thermodynamics chapter. Thank you very much.